Okay, let's read some of the comments in my comment section. Jordan T. Russo. Metatron, I have your next debunking video ready, and it's a good one. Let's have a look.
The war has raged for centuries. Our parents, their parents, thousands have died and perished to the evil. And now they have come to our lands, and we will not stand for it. We will.
Hey number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and I would like to begin this video by saying that yes, it's a debunking video, but at the same time I'd like to underline that I'm not attacking the content creators at this channel. I'm sure they make a lot of fun and entertaining content, and I think the host, his name I believe is Matt, this is not an attack on you. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I am attacking the sort of video you made, particularly the title and some of the things you're saying. So peace and respect, but let's have a look at the video. But if you're new to this channel and you like knight, Roman, samurai weapons and armor, become a noble one, subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron.
Welcome to Demolition Ranch! We got a suit of armor. And we have our nice mannequin here who was generous enough to volunteer to be our tester, and we are going to shoot our suit of armor. It is all metal, it's real, it actually would stop a sword, and under it we bought some real chainmail as well. So we have chainmail. He is totally decked out as if he was going into a medieval battle.
No, it's not. That's not medieval armor. I do reckon that he truly believes that this is a real medieval harness. I don't think that they're doing it as a clickbait thing. I think they're doing it because he just doesn't know, which is not something that, you know, I can't crucify you for it. I mean, I don't know much probably about the sort of weapons you use. So it's not a fault. So what is that? It's a extremely cheap, badly made, wrongly shaped, incorrect, historically inaccurate, off-the-shelf, Indian-made excuse of an armor. One of the reasons I think why Matt, in this case, thinks that that's real armor is because it said on the site where he bought it that it was real armor. I disrespect that.
We bought some real chainmail as well.
The mail also is horrible. It's obviously cheap, zinc-plated, buttered mail, and that has absolutely nothing in common with real, properly made, medieval, riveted mail. Because you see, the rings of mail, in this case, they're buttered, which means that there is only the strength of the metal, which in this case, most likely it's mild steel, so very low in carbon content, is what is keeping them in place. And so it's very easy to spread open the rings of a buttered mail suit. Very, very easy. But in the medieval period and in the Roman period, the majority, I'm not going to say every, but the majority of mail was fully riveted, half solid. And obviously it wasn't zinc plated at all. The fact that the real medieval mail is supposed to protect you, that one is not protecting you. Look at the coif. The coif should protect you and cover you all the way up to your chin. It should be shaped to the face. There, your throat is completely exposed, just like they always are with very cheap, badly made, off-the-shelf Indian armor. That's not a properly made helmet, medieval helmet. This is a properly made medieval helmet. Now, of course, I don't own the same sort of helmet, but I could show you pictures of that. A helmet needs to be a proper replica. It's not enough that armor is made of metal.
It is all metal. It's real.
What sort of metal? What kind of steel? Well, in that case, it's probably some sort of very cheap, I want to say stainless steel. It was not heat treated. The carbon content is not the same. The thickness is not the same. That does not replicate real, authentic armor. The shield makes me want to vomit. Like, literally, that is one of the cheapest possible wall hangers that you can get. It's a piece of sheet metal loosely resembling heater shields of the medieval period, but heater shields were made of wood and usually covered in either, gesso, which is basically a mixture of glue and chalk, parchment. There are a lot of possibilities, but that's not what a heater shield looks like. That's not what a heater shield would be made of. Now, I'm not saying that modern firearms would have a problem going through a medieval shield. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that that's not a medieval shield. Triangular, fully metal, sheet metal, medieval shields did not exist. So no, that's not a medieval shield. Again, I'm not hating on your content.
And we're gonna shoot it to see if it's bulletproof. Now they, of course, never tested this because they didn't have bullets. They were trying to stop swords and arrows.
But here's another thing. You say that medieval people only tested these with swords against swords and never against bullets because they didn't have bullets. Hence, what you're basically saying is that medieval people didn't have firearms. So let me rectify that a little bit. They didn't have modern guns. I don't think I actually even needed to say that. But artillery existed. Handguns were used. And apart from actual artillery, and I'll tell you a little bit about that because I think it's interesting, but apart from early kinds of cannons, even handheld firearms that were used in the medieval period, well, breastplates, medieval armor, and even later armor all the way up to 1888 were constantly tested against bullets. In fact, that's where the term that you yourself use a lot, bulletproof, comes from. Breastplates that were supposed to protect you against early gunpowder weapons were tested. So they would shoot at them and the bullet would leave a dent, and that dent would proof, hence bulletproof, that the armor could protect you, and therefore that the armor was made right, it had the proper thickness, etc. Of course, I'm not talking about smokeless powder. Obviously, there is a massive difference between early gunpowder and modern day gunpowder. Medieval metallurgy wasn't able to sustain the sort of pressure that you can today, and also, of course, with the centuries, the efficacy of the propellant is increased, the quality of the black powder improved over time. We do read accounts from Francois de la Nove in the late 1500s, where he tells us that the best pistolers and cuirasses that were using early gunpowder were those trained to hold their fire until melee, which clearly means that if you shot from too far away, breastplates would usually protect you. And if we have to believe the accounts from Sir Roger Williams in the 16th century, tells us that they had to make muskets extremely powerful in order to be able to penetrate armor. Breastplates were regularly tested against actual firearms. Now, it is noteworthy to say that, generally speaking, the sort of tests that they made were made with weapons that weren't really the best or the most powerful weapons that you could get your hands on. And of course, there is plenty to suggest that early 16th, for example, in 17th century, black-powered firearms could actually be able to penetrate armor, but again, depending on the distance and even the sort of ammunition used, because yes, lead was used, and also depending on the amount of black powder, not only the quality but the amount, sometimes 1-to-1 as well, meaning 1-to-1 ratio of powder to lead mass. But also other kinds of projectiles were used. Sometimes early medieval cannons used arrows, but later on, even with hand pistols, some soldiers would prefer to use iron or steel bullets. So there is a lot of debate around the idea of, could medieval armor, the best medieval sort of armor, protect you from the best kind of firearms of the period, and that's very debatable, and perhaps I'll make a dedicated video to see what the authors of the time tell us. But definitely some breastplates were tested against some firearms and they could protect you from it. There are loads of instances and mentions of early firearms, if that's what we're looking for. We either talk about siege or open battle, and of course when we talk about siege, it's generally speaking we're talking about artillery, and there are numerous examples that inform us about the sort of bombardments of fortified cities, sometimes it being effective and other times not. And even if we just look at the sources from either the Kingdom of Bohemia or Poland and all the battles in which gunpowder was used, say the Hussite Wars 1419-1436, the 13 Years' War of 1454 to 1466, and of course the Great War of 1409-1411, which is one of the reasons why when the game Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is specifically set in Bohemia, I was complaining about the lacking of both crossbows, of course, because Bohemia was a crossbow country, but also early pistols. Okay, so to reiterate, no hate on you, I'm not hating on you, but I'm saying this video is very misleading because yes, the end result will probably be the same. If you use a powerful modern gun against even a good, properly made medieval suit of armor, you will still go through. But I'm saying it's not the end result that I'm talking about, even though again it would be interesting to see maybe smaller caliber pistols or something that is more for self-defense rather than warfare. It could be interesting to see whether up to a certain extent a very well made breastplate, it would be interesting to see what would happen, but apart from that, because of course I don't know that, I've never shot at a breastplate, but what I do know is that that's not real armor, and that's what I wanted to underline with this video, and I hope I did. I hope I wasn't pretentious or obnoxious in any way. Keep up the good work, but please, if you do wish to do this again, maybe if this video gets you a lot of views and you do wish to do this again with medieval helmets, please get the real stuff. Feel free to contact me anytime. I don't want anything, I don't want you to pay me, it's not a problem. Just contact me and say, hey, I want to make a video on a Roman helmet, I want to make a video on a medieval helmet, on a samurai helmet, where should I get it, and how much would it cost, and you know, maybe some information on the thing I'm using, and I would be more than happy to do that for you. So feel free to contact me through my email. You will find it in the information on my channel, and I'm available for you 24/7, no problem. Just make sure, please, don't call armor that is not real. Alright, number ones, well, I hope you enjoyed this brief video. If you did, please remember thumbs up, and if you're not yet members of this community, become a noble one. Subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Bye.